possibly created by ancients from the technologically advanced First Empire, legends claim skeleton robots eventually rebelled against their masters after witnessing the Obedience Massacre, in which humans grew fearful of the giant behemoth robots created for war, and so ordered them into a massive pit to be buried in metal. Ironically, it was because the behemoths were so loyal and obedient, they marched toward their own destruction without resistance. Enraged by the death of their kin, skeletons orchestrated a mass extinction event, destroying the First Empire and wiping out all humans except for those saved by the hero Stobe, last of the behemoth robots, who forsook vengeance and sacrificed his life to save the last of the creators. Traumatized by all the death they caused, and deeply shamed by the selfless nobility of Stobe, many skeletons were unable to live with this guilt and committed mass suicide, while others learned to live with the pain, forever plagued by bouts of depression. There are even some who believe the skeleton practice of regularly wiping their memories to avoid insanity may have originated from the madness induced by causing and witnessing the first extinction. Though skeletons became the dominant power of the continent, much First Empire technology was lost, leading to a chaos age where surviving humans descended into primitive barbarism, while the robot population drastically decreased from their inability to create more of their own kind. Even after the long years of the Chaos Age, skeletons could not escape the guilt of their past actions, and so a group of heroes, led by the great warrior Catlon, banded together to found the Second Empire. Possibly ruling with the aid of his friend and advisor, the fearsome Tin Fist, Catlon's goal was to redeem skeleton kind by creating a safe, prosperous environment where humanity could thrive. Establishing their capital in the southeast, an area with many technological ruins from the First Empire, including the remnants of a possible space elevator, the Second Empire eventually expanded to become a mighty power with a caste system of their own, placing skeletons as the dominant masters. To protect the human population, Catlon and his government established a police force under General Hat 12, and an army which included the legendary Hydraulic Knights under General Jang. Among the technological advancements possessed by the Second Empire, they were adept with genetic engineering, and so enhanced the human race, possibly creating well-rounded Greenlanders, with no disadvantages and a slightly heightened ability to farm, perform scientific research, and cook, while Scorchlanders specialized in adventuring and crafting, as they were faster, more agile, stealthier, able to eat raw meat and heal faster. Others were given the traits and minds of warriors to create a caste of enforcers, while some even claimed the Second Empire or a rogue faction of skeletons created the Hivers as a worker caste, since they excelled at manual labor and when in a hive, followed their queen's orders without question. Though Catlon's nation prospered for many years, the rise of a human cult led to rebellion and war, which in turn made the emperor more aggressive and tyrannical in his efforts to maintain the empire, to the point he started killing innocent citizens and locking human children in cages. Understanding the madness of this anti-human campaign, many skeletons abandoned Catlon's empire, including his friend Tin Fist, who still desired to help humanity and so became a liberator of slaves. Unwilling to allow any further betrayal, Catlon removed the sentience from many of his remaining skeleton followers, turning them into mindless robot slaves. The final catastrophe came when a great famine struck, leading to the dissolution of the state, as individuals migrated to more resource-rich lands, or else ended their association with the Second Empire. As all this occurred, Catlon remained sat on his throne in the capital, surrounded by mindless storm thralls, unwilling to see the error of his ways, stewing in anger and bitterness for the next 1,000 years. Those few skeletons who were not thralled yet remained loyal to Catlon formed the Skeleton Legion, continuing to patrol the Ashlands in the name of their mad emperor. Yet few of these loyalists remained, and so most of these contingents were made up of Legion thralls. Other non-sentient robots which patrolled the region included Iron Spiders, Cleanser units, and Screamer units. With the last remnants of Catlon's forces tucked away in the southeast, the rest of the continent moved on, naming these mysterious, aggressive, hostile skeletons as Second Empire exiles, while forgetting the details of their powerful past. Although entering the sonorous dark and Ashlands could prove a lucrative enterprise for adventurers seeking ancient tech or research books, as it was a site with great ruins from two mighty empires, it was also a hostile, poisonous wasteland, teeming with dangers. After parting ways with Catlon's empire, the rest of skeleton kind sought their place in the world, as some went mad, were reprogrammed, turned to banditry and cults, or scattered across the continent, while others worked to create their new home of Black Desert City in the Deadlands, where they were protected from outsiders by harsh environmental conditions, including constant acid rain which hurt non-skeletons. As many of their kind retained memories from long ago, some robots became scholars like Io, the second in command at the Great Research Lab in World's End, who made it his mission to hide certain parts of their history, presumably in an effort to avoid further discrimination and hostility between the peoples of the continent. Although the Second Empire remained at war with all organic races, by the fall of Bast, most got along well with individual skeletons outside the Ashlands, and all were welcome in Black Desert City if they could survive the environmental conditions, as it even featured the Scrap House, which served as the finest weapon shop in the land. However, the Holy Nation, descended from the human cultists of the Second Empire, never forgot their hatred of skeletons, even if they did not fully recall the true history of the continent, and so were hostile to all robots and technology, which they claimed were agents of Narco, seeking to attempt a second extinction of humanity. The cannibal tribes of the north also told stories of skeletons from the past, forever hostile and fearful from their days at war with the hydraulic knights of the Second Empire. A special thanks to all those who contribute to Civilization X, like Daedry Dragonswit, Kyle Blitzsword, Tormus Woodswhisper, and Average Soul the Healer. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/civilizationx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.